MSK, aka Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video. And in today's video, we are going to be doing a comic book review on Absolute Batman #3. So if you guys have not had a chance to check out our Absolute Batman #1 and #2 comic book reviews, I would highly recommend you guys go and check out those comic book reviews on Absolute Batman #1 and #2. That way, if you ever want to know our thoughts and opinions on those two issues, you can go and check out those videos and then see how those videos have our opinions in them and compare them to what we're going to talk about here in Absolute Batman #3. So essentially, I usually kind of like to read the comic books we're going to review for the channel closer to the time of the MSK show, where we do the reviews live for you guys. And if you guys have not subscribed to my main YouTube channel, please do so, since you're watching this video on my comic book channel. Actually, you know, nudge nudge, wink wink, shameless plug, right? So I actually chose to read this before I got called into work, and I was thinking to myself, this is actually very good. Like, overall, if I really think about Absolute Batman issue #1 and Absolute Batman issue #2, I really enjoyed the series so far. It's very, how would I say this? It has a really nice balance of playing out events without it feeling very jumbled. You know, you have one event going this way, one event going this way, and one event going that way, right? But it never feels like the events start teetering off in directions that you don't care for. They never feel like they get their hand overplayed. They never feel like they're overlapping. It really feels like a really nice, well done, what's the best word of describing it? It's like a well-structured series so far.
I think that, yeah, I agree. I think when you're looking at like other arcs, they're always setting up in the middle of playing out what's going on. This had one page at the end of the first issue just to let you know that the Joker exists in this universe. But everything else has been about Batman, the party animals, and Alfred.
Yeah.
And,
it was really
like,
cool so far.
The stuff in Gotham. So it's I think they've done very well with sticking to what the story is right now.
It's also really, really interesting that you bring it up, is because there's quite a bit of comic books out there that even I've read myself, where it feels like sometimes when you're doing this many story arcs, they can get very conflicted, where it's like they spent way too much time on this, not enough time on this. I'll be honest here, with Scott Snyder writing the book, guys, going through this, it's so well paced. Like, I'll be honest here, it's very well paced. Like, there's moments where you get enough of like the other characters, you get enough of Bruce, then it ties into his backstory about things that made him who he is. It ties into the backstory about how his relationships developed, and then it had a really nice touch there with his mom from a backstory part and tying it into a present. And
I don't stick on anything too long to make you bored of it. It's just
the thing I wanted to ask you, because I'm pretty sure you would understand this more than me. I mean, I have a 200 IQ, but all geniuses need help.
Right.
There's a part in the book, you remember, toward like the second third of it, where after Alfred told him what he should do regarding Black Mass, there's these like arc points. Could you explain that? Because like
when we get to it,
so I would say, if you're reading this book in just single issues, that's like the only difficult part to understand. But it's not that difficult when you realize the scope of how much bigger everything is now,
Yeah.
So the only other, I don't think I really have any actual critiques. I think, to me, this is even just as good as book issue #1. I don't understand. I didn't hate issue 2. I just found the Batmobile reveal
it was hilarious.
It was just hilarious. And it made no sense with the Alfred part. That's the only thing. It was just the Alfred part that made no sense. Everything else is fine.
If they would have, so if they would have done it like right after they did the Batman as fuck part, right? If they would have done that when they showed like the blazing stuff and he just busts through there, I think I would have been able to take the giant cement truck fine. Right, I would have been able to be okay. This makes sense.
He called it a dump truck. That's what it looks like. It's a dump truck.
So I would have been able to take that fine because it would have matched what was going on. But they went over so much other stuff, and then he slides down the elevator thing, and then Alfred's already there, and he doesn't know that he's on a gigantic fucking truck.
When this is the guy that literally even tells us in this book that he's been around doing these kind of like spying missions forever.
He is fully aware of his surroundings, except
even
when he's on a giant truck.
Even more out of your point, guys, he knows every place Bruce goes to. That's why he can be there with him at certain parts of the book. But nevertheless, that's the only thing that really didn't make that much sense. As we're going to dive into the book, I will say this book is basically at this point playing into all the Gotham usual tropes, but it's doing it in a well-paced manner where it doesn't feel like super overwhelming. Like, I know when it comes to like certain Batman media, where if they're doing like alternate stories or reboots, you always get something overwhelming, another plot. Like, you get the corruption so fast to you. You're like, oh, fuck, man, this city's too corrupt. Then you get the Batman stuff all at once, and it never feels like it's very well balanced. And here, you finally get to see the corruption of certain people that you didn't think was going to happen start to unveil. Specifically with Harvey Bullock, him being the guy to finally crack and go, okay, I'm going into the weeds here with corruption. It's like, holy shit, okay, I thought that was going to happen.
And how about that cover, man? I thought that cover was fucking awesome.
What's been the best cover so far from the first 3 issues? The first one was basic. That wasn't really great.
I thought it was good, but I'll say this. I really like the variant cover on the second one. I like this a lot. I think that's really good. But I don't know. I think the third one so far is one I've liked.
Yeah, this cover right here, as you guys can see, the main cover.
I think it's awesome.
Yeah, this is really good. Yeah.
It's like Batman in an alleyway fighting stuff. It's just, and the cape just looks awesome, and you could see like the hooks at the end of the cape. It's just sick, man.
Oh gosh. Oh, and I would say this. I think outside of the book, what else did I have to think about when I was reading this? Why doesn't he have money? Scott, what are you doing? This is literally just Bruce without money. Everything about him is the same. Literally.
But is it though? Is it though? Like,
it's hard. It's like with money, he would be a much more better character if he was a billionaire. But technically, maybe.
But I don't know. I don't. Okay, the one thing that I could say that we don't get enough of is him as Bruce Wayne doing things that our Batman would do as Bruce Wayne, like not going to parties, doing stuff. We don't see him in his place. Like, we saw him one time in that building in issue 1 where Alfred came and said, you know, like, I know where you're working. He was up on the top floor. We don't get to see him doing any Batman-y stuff as Bruce Wayne. We only see him, like, you know, working out or going to see his mom.
Unless you count the poker scene from
but that
book
wasn't
2.
I mean, he was asking,
because he did ask for stuff, and they did get it in this.
And it just doesn't seem like it though, you know what I mean? I want to see him at the Bat computer. I want to see
I know what you're saying.
He has those stations all over the place, as we found out. He has them all over the place. We saw a map, and it was in the shape of the bat symbol. Everywhere. He's everywhere. I just would like to see him in any of those places doing something.
Well, you might get it when Alfred turns out to be sleeping with his mom. I'm kidding, guys. That would never happen in universes like this.
I mean, maybe if you wrote it, it would.
Hey. I would be the person to insert myself in the characters. I would be Bruce going and banging all these white women. No, guys, I'm joking. I would never do that. I'm a genius, 200 IQ for a reason. So, time to go over.
We're taking IQ tests, by the way.
Me.
We're both doing it live.
Oh, yeah, my back really broke. I'm gonna have to get some medicine for that. So, speaking of a character's back who was broken at one point in continuity. Hey, callback. So, at the end of the last book, which was Absolute Batman number 2, which you guys should know, is that Miss Selena Kyle had her debut in the Absolute Batman continuity so far. And yes, they really want you to buy the new Black Canary solo series, which is a 6-issue miniseries, which is written by Tom King. Thank you, DC. Thank you. I really want to buy Black Canary, best of the best.
Listen, the only way I would buy Black Canary is if she's doing a team up, you know, with Green Arrow, and they're doing the whole family. That's the only way that I'm buying a book titled Black Canary.
But dude, it's Black Canary versus Lady Shiva, written by Tom King.
Oh, I'll get right on that.
With time to order it right now. Add it to eBay cart. Proceed to checkout. No, okay. All jokes aside, last issue, Selena Kyle makes her debut. As you guys know, that is Catwoman, obviously. She and Bruce go off on an adventure together. But what I like about this is that it actually plays in and ties into something from the last issue. So if you guys remember last issue, it was revealed that, you know, Bruce, after his dad died, shut out his mom completely, barely would ever talk to her, shut out his friends, barely would ever talk to them. That's going to get played in here and actually gives more storyline to it. It's a nice progression there. And then, you know, Bruce is talking to her later on in the book about the adoption agencies, and she's been through like 4 families. That's gonna be later on. But what I also noticed in this first arc, all the zoo imagery that's happened in Absolute Batman 1 through 3 so far.
Well, really cool. Is called the zoo. The arc is called the zoo, but it all takes place there. Like, you know, everything leading up to his decision to do this. Kind of like the zoo is basically the crime alley of this universe.
Damn, that's why I have you here, to notice things I don't. So, also picking up where we left off with the last book, Batman using his Batmobile in quotations, which is basically a little truck.
Look at it in the top right corner where the guy's going, the dump truck has wings on it.
It
has bat wings.
I'm just saying, Christopher Nolan had his Batmobile.
If it did, how awesome would that be? I would be like, yes, this is fantastic.
What makes so weird? I'll be honest here. He shouldn't have a bat plane then, because if this motherfucker, well, to be fair, he built that. If he built a plane and that has wings, okay, he might actually be way more cool than I thought. But picking up also where the last book left off of, Alfred and Batman are inside the new Batmobile because they're getting chased by the party animals, and then Alfred is still inner monologuing to Bruce, and he's basically going over basically, how about I tie this up? What Batman could do to make a deal with Black Mass to get things to get better for Gotham. If that's what happened.
Black Mass offered Bruce a deal. He's like, you know, let's make a deal. We don't know exactly what that deal would encounter, but it's assuming they would have to meet. So Alfred's trying to talk him down, basically, of saying, look, you can't get out of this. This thing is huge. You can't make a run for it. And you would probably do better if you took this deal from Black Mask. And Bruce says, you got 30 seconds to talk. Make your pitch.
That was really cool. He kept counting down as Alfred was helping him take out the bad guys that were chasing him. And then they get halted to a stop at one point, and Bruce basically just drives his Batmobile into the water as he shoots Alfred away so he doesn't drown as he's going underwater.
He actually, if you notice, like, he actually separates part of it and then drives into the water.
Yeah.
And then shoots him out of there, which is hilarious, by the way. I just thought it was funny. Like, it's like, what?
Dude? He just does not want an Alfred in this universe.
No, but the Batmobile itself, I like the look of the actual Batmobile.
Oh, yeah, because
the
way it was drawn in Absolute Batman issue #2, you do get to see the full scope of it. It is very huge. It is. It looks great.
No, he busts that thing is inside of the giant truck.
Oh, God. That's crazy.
Yeah, so, like, it's like he bursts out of there whenever, you know, he closes in the hatch. Yeah. And that's where if you look right whenever he pushes like his finger on that button, on the green button, that's where it says there's sudden screech of hydraulics, the rumble of 600 tons of steel shifting its chassis. And that's when he said the roof almost takes his head off. But all I could think of is, you know, he says, I might love this Batman. So it's like comes out of there and then it shoots off. It's no longer the giant dump truck.
So then it goes back to the part that I mentioned at the first part of the review where Selena and Bruce are talking, and then Selena has this conversation with Bruce about, you know, what happened at the zoo where his dad was killed, and then he has him watch this movie called Zorro with her, and then he asks him, like, what are you doing? And then that's going to be tied into later on. And then we get to this part.
That's what's crazy. Like, they're making him watch Zorro, which is the movie that Bruce in our world made his parents go see that ended up getting them killed.
Ooh.
On the walk home.
What world is
it? Was the Mask of Zorro.
You're right. What's the best word I could say with what you just said there? Synergy? No? God, I had a word there that was going to compliment what you just said there, but I just lost it. No, but don't worry, guys. I'm a genius. So Bruce ends up going to meet the Riddler. He created this machine, this AI machine, where it can kind of just give him answers to what he wants. And then after that, he doesn't really feel at his best when he gets these answers, because these answers basically tell him, yeah, this kind of thing goes way beyond what you initially thought it was actually going to be. And the way the book sets it up is apparently it's way bigger than most people thought what was going to end up being the actual normality of the situation. It's not the whole typical of like, hey, I just beat this bad guy, the fucking gangs run away and they stop and they cower and hide. No, it's not like that at all.
Well,
apparently it's bigger than that.
They don't know he's Batman. So the fact that their friend, who they rarely see and they think is being a shut-in, is going down a path of, first of all, where did you get this helmet? Second of all, the tech inside this helmet is so beyond what the Riddler or Edward Nygma, the guy who's creating AI, was capable of.
Yeah.
And they got to be wondering, like, dude, what the hell are you getting into? Like, what is our friend getting into?
The thing that he had Harvey Dent do in the last book, he tells him that a lot of the funding has been coming from JK Holdings, and then it just still shows you a panel of, the helmet getting analyzed by, the robot that Riddler created, and then you have another new guy meeting with Harvey Bullock right there, and they're gonna go end up meeting Black Mask, Roman Sionis, as he is having a dude on dude boxer wrestling match. They have their boxers on, guys. You don't see any Wang. I'm glad I didn't, because I'm very, very straight. I have sex with.
They've already showed Batman's Wang, if you remember.
I wasn't paying attention.
No. In an actual book, in a black label Batman book, I'm not joking. It was a giant deal that they showed Bat penis.
And
I am dead serious.
Basically, Harvey.
I'm not lying. It really happened.
Harvey Bullock and the other guy that went to meet with Roman, they end up basically making a deal together to work together, as Roman is viciously beating up this guy. He breaks his arm, breaks his leg. It was just, this book does not shy away from the violence and the torture. Just putting it that way. Just, snapping his leg and snapping his arm. And then he was like, wait, is he dead? He's like, no, he'll be okay. Yeah, he'll be fine, as he just had his arm and leg broken. Oh, God.
Well, they just have to show what a badass Black Mask is. Isn't he just such a badass with his fucking stupid ass helmet on? Like, the
ugly helmet.
Retarded looking.
That looks so, that's even dorkier than the Magneto helmet, It
just
like
doesn't,
that. That just looks like a giant crystal ball that's just painted black.
Like, I like the the skeleton face to it, but just the rest of it just looks so stupid. Looks like he's trying out to be like in some DJ group.
So it was this part of the book where the stuff that Alfred was conversating with Bruce about at the beginning part of the review that you said gets played in. So essentially, there's Arc A, Arc B, Arc C. One is in Santa Prisca, and the other one is in Russia. The other one's in China. So what I took from that was that there was someone set up all these different locations to eventually go to war with Gotham. I don't know how you could explain that, because I didn't really get what that was going for.
Well, I think, hold on, let me see. Are you at wherever he's looking through the telescopes?
That one. Yeah, this one right here.
Okay, hold on a second. Sorry. Marks. These are black slates.
Yeah, because
so basically, so Bruce is looking at this one site, but he's inner monologuing to himself, because Alfred knows what these places are. The black sites, they're all over the place. And the one that he's looking at just happens to be in the area of Gotham, and that's the Arc M.
Okay. And then after that, you get a really
I think they're all over, because if you remember, he said Black Mask is connected to people all over the world. But they also said that he works for some people. I'm wondering if they're going to tie that in with the Joker, because you remember the Joker in this world. Remember, he's a multi-billionaire, and he's all. So the one they're building here, Arc M, is the one planned for Gotham, but there are other of these places around the world. So if we find out that one of them is in, what was it, Madripoor or something that he was in, if we find out that there's one there, maybe that's where the Joker was going, you know, A to Z places. Maybe he's going to those places.
And then after that, you get one of the most wholesome moments of the book, actually. And I like these wholesome moments. There a lot of them were in Ultimate Spider-Man Married with Children Volume 1. I really like these moments where basically Selina ended up bringing Bruce here, and then his friends come out and hang out with him. And they all sit together and watch the movie Zorro. But then it's also kind of revealed that his mom was the one that set this up, because he had been running out with Selina, you know, for a while at this point. It's not like confirmed, but it's been a while, let's just say. And she set all this up because she realized that in the last book, Bruce was very just cut off from her.
Well, I think it's like,
so cool. I think
it's like he wouldn't listen to any of his friends except her. So to have her bring him there, she could bring all the other friends. And
it wasn't built that Selina did know them, because Bruce mentioned that my parents. So I thought that was really cool. I thought it was a good
moment. It was a good moment to show their friendship and how they've drifted apart. Where all the other four, except for maybe Selina, because remember she didn't show up for the poker game, are probably close
by something else.
Right. So this is a comic book.
Oh yeah, you're right. Oh
yeah, they're not gonna have sex with Selina Kyle in the book here.
Well, maybe he could have banged her before he went to that poker game. Nevertheless, it ends up back in present day after that flashback where Bruce is talking to his mom, and then she's like, "Hey, I'm gonna step in for, you know, as deputy mayor," and then he was like, "Hey, look how that turned out for Dad when that happened for him," and she was like, "I'm going to kiss you now, so I don't slap you." Good Lord, that hit a nerve there.
That sounds like one of your dates.
Oh God, man! Like, it's also revealed in this book that it wasn't just one shooter that killed his dad. It was it's like one of the worst massive shooting events in Gotham's history. I thought this was just one shooter, but no, apparently it was just a big event that happened.
Well, I mean, we only saw the one shooter that shot his dad. So that's the only one that honestly matters for this story, in my opinion. I'm sure there was other things that happened, but that's the one that, you know, made him into what he is. That single event is tied to the reason why his mother is doing what she's doing and why he's doing what he's doing. They're handling it in different ways.
And then after that, you know, Alfred, always the inner monologue to himself, basically he's talking about how even though Batman is very, very skilled and he's very aware of what he can do, he can't protect everyone. But then Alfred...
He's also spying on his daughter.
Yeah, I did notice that. He's spying on his daughter, and she went out and got a ball that
she's
a kid kicked over.
I think.
Yeah, it was a weird moment that ended up tying up very well, because she's not very skilled to protect those kids if one of those shootings happen. But
I think it was more that he's just spying on her because he has a bad relationship with her. He tried calling her. She, you know, didn't want to talk to him, you know, never call again. And he just wanted to see her. You know, it's like that same old story of like anytime in a movie that there's like a parent that is away on a job or isn't involved in their kid's life and they want to be. And, you know, you always get you were never there for me. And, you know, all that.
Like my dad.
Well, he's getting cigarettes, dude.
And
he will be back. He will be back.
The red bat Skittles, not the sour ones that are disgusting. So I forgot this guy's name. I forgot, but this guy who had the meeting with Harvey Bullock and Black Mask. Now he is endorsing Harvey Bullock to be
that's the ex mayor, Mayor Hill.
Yes. Okay. So Mayor Hill is endorsing that Harvey Bullock become the next commissioner,
and he's rerunning for mayor.
That's of course. How convenient, Mayor. Gordon was shot, and this new guy's commissioning. Big things are at play here. And then the news is like, where's Batman at? Well, Batman is apparently at the end of the book having a conversation with Black Mask. Now, this is a weird scene because I don't know if Bruce is not stupid enough to reveal his identity like that. So I would have to assume that this last page is basically he's just talking to a screen version of him, and it's just
I don't think it's the actual him. Yeah, I just think it's a phone.
There's no way. Yeah.
It doesn't.
Have you noticed this in the book? They have these bat panels here where it always says bats are not blind.
It's referring back to the place he went where he wanted to go. If you remember from the field trip, he wanted to go see the bats right away because he's obsessed with them. And there was all those panels in the bat room.
Yeah.
Like leading everywhere. So like his trauma of wanting to see bats is also what he was afraid of, because remember, they were stuck in that room with all the bats flying around while his dad was getting killed.
Yeah. Oh God, what a tragic origin story.
And then Gordon, when he was talking to his mom, was that in the second book, I think? Yeah. He said, I remember whenever I pulled him out of the room. Remember, because he came in, the police had to come and he got him out of there. So Bruce probably stayed in there longer than the rest of the kids, just with his head down, terrified because he knew his dad was dead.
Man, it just feels like in any iteration when it comes to Bruce's origin story, it's just always mentally, you must go through the most tragic pain of your life to be forged in the fire or some bullshit like that.
Because the dude like dresses up like a giant bat, dude. He's obviously mentally disturbed.
So Bruce,
as much as you want.
He ended up basically kind of considering taking the money from Black Mass. This thing is, I don't think he is. I don't
know if it's money. Is it?
Because most of it was just about how much good the money will do, but what he can also start building with it. That's what I was taking from it. But I don't think it's that. I think he's just trying to actually get Black Mass cornered so we can talk to him and interrogate him. I don't think he really cares about the money.
I'm saying, that could be it. But I'm sure he's going to take that money if he does, or he sets up a way to take him down at the meeting and maybe just takes the money and reinvests it into Batman.
Or the last thing I'll bring up, because this is not part of the actual story, DC had this little nice ad here for the holidays. This issue dropped when it was a week before Christmas, because Wonder Woman issue number 4 dropped on Christmas week. This one dropped the week before. Nice little page there for the holidays. That was really cool. And you have the DC Finest book getting ads. These are all awesome. If you ever want to just get into just DC stories, $40, you're getting over 500 pages. You buy these. I vouch for them. I have them over there. They're great collected edition books.
Right over there.
Yeah, they're awesome. So, yeah, that is pretty much it for Absolute Batman number 3. I'll get your closing thoughts and opinions on this issue. Did you enjoy it? Are you having fun with Absolute Batman, sir?
Yes. I thought this is telling the story to where it's coming to a crescendo. And you can see that this arc either expounding or ending in 2 issues. Since it was part 1 of 5 at the beginning, they said the Zoo part 1 of 5. So it's definitely coming to its climax, and we're going to see where it goes from here. But I thought that the characters that are in play are done very well. There's a lot of intrigue. There's a lot of moving parts. You got the Jim Gordon storyline fully at play because Harvey Bullock's now involved. The ex-mayor's now involved. Bruce's mom is now involved. So every single person, except for Barbara, has a storyline that is revolving around everything that's happening with the party animals.
Yeah.
They're all affected by the party animals.
It was also revealed in this book that we didn't cover. Black Mass, I don't know if he is telling the truth, because guys, people gotta stop doing that. When villains say something, people don't know they're villains, right? They intentionally would mislead you and bullshit you.
Yeah, they'll bullshit you. Yes.
But people just think like, because the villain said it, it must always be true. If we're to take what he says is true, because he says it in the book, he said the party animals have no correlation to him, which I think is just, I don't know if that's true, but I don't believe that. I just don't believe it at all.
I don't know. We'll see. We don't know. We don't technically know if they do yet. We don't know.
But
we've never seen him say, hey, party animals, do this.
But they are conveniently around when he's around. But, that might be me reading too much into it. But,
yeah, I mean, no, that's what we're
I'm a genius for a reason. Yeah.
We're going to take that IQ test live.
Oh, gosh.
Live.
Oh, God. But for me, my closing thoughts and opinions on Absolute Batman number 3, good, nice, well-paced structured comic book in this 3rd issue for this 5-part arc. Now, after we do this issue, we're going to be doing Absolute Batman number 4. Mm-hmm. And that's the issue that I heard is the worst one of the first initial 5. But I don't know yet. That's just what I've been hearing. I'll be buying it. Actually, I bought it already. I just have to basically get into my packages and get it. And we just review it later on. So overall, no, I like what we have here so far. It's intriguing, mystery. It's not giving you too much of something. It's very well balanced. It's very nice structured series so far. But overall, we'll see how this arc is going to play out in the last 2 issues of this Zoo arc that Scott was calling it. This guy is always so grandiose. Big thing has to be built up. Oh my God. Good job, Scott. Yeah, you're doing it for me. If you could ever get me writing a Batman and Selena Kyle like fan fiction book for DC, you know, wow. I can guarantee you sell a lot of books. Wow. I'm a genius.
Wow. You're still on that, aren't you?
All right. So thank you guys for checking out this video. If you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video. I'm MSK, aka Master Swag King, and we're going to sign out, guys. See you guys later. Deuces. Peace.